Today I'm going to talk about family. So our superconscious, we have an individual superconscious, and then we have the immediate family superconscious, and then there's the human collective. So if you imagine it's like babushka dolls, we have our superconscious, then the family superconscious, and then the human collective. And it can even be a race, a different nationality that can have a superconscious as well. So for your family, for your individual and your family, you have a name that you identify yourself with, and your last name has a resonance. So you are an individual connected to a family, right? And many conditions are passed down to you, including health challenges, we know that in the DNA, trauma, beliefs, all kinds of things are carried down through the generations. And they've scientifically proven this to be true for 7 generations. 7 generations of trauma, of health challenges, of beliefs, of emotions, all kinds of things are in your superconscious field. Now, there could be unwritten rules like money isn't safe. Maybe your great-grandmother was rich and they got burgled or attacked. So now the belief that money isn't safe. There could be all sorts of things in that field. And also, we have the genes of the future generations in us. So what we do here in this lifetime can heal all the past trauma and set up the future generations. It's quite incredible. So this work that you're doing isn't just for you, it's for your whole family. Now, 2/3 of your DNA comes from your opposite sex parent. I find that really, really interesting. So there's lots in this, okay? I would like to go into the beliefs and what our parents can contribute mostly to us. And this is because it's in the field, this is your blood family. So if you were adopted, say, this is the blood family, okay? Now there's a gentleman by the name of Bert Hellinger. He's the one that studies scientifically that we do in fact carry trauma 7 generations. And he's established some rules. I'm just going to read from this sheet here. So there are 3 unsaid rules operating in every family system. Family rules are rules that are unspoken, that are put into place by either mum or dad or both. The first rule: no one in this family will have a better experience of life than I have had or I am having. Number 2, no one in this family is going to have a better experience of themselves than I have of me. And number 3, no one in this family is going to have a better experience of me than I have of me. Now, I'm glad we came on to this subject today because I was talking to my son on the weekend. His relationship with his father is just terrible. Well, my son said maybe he's unhappy because I've shown him up, because my son's just gone leaps and bounds and his father's gone lower, if anything. He's right, basically. The healthier the family, the weaker the rules are. In a not so healthy family, these rules can be nearly explicit. In seriously ill families, these rules are enforced openly, and these rules exist regardless. So an example of my son, his father's seriously ill, so these rules are in his face. But because of our connection with our parents, we feel guilt or we feel innocence around this stuff. So children are compelled by love and fear to belong with and honour their parents and their family's origin of up to 7 generations. So this obligation to honour and belong with one's family is enforced neurologically, so in the brain. It is not dependent on or subject to any kind of rational override. When we do the behaviour that allows us to belong, we feel innocent. When we do the behaviour that violates belonging, we feel guilty. There are no exceptions. When a child cannot heal the family, the child takes on the family's pain in order to help them. honor them, and be one of them. All human beings become caught in entanglement of multiple overlapping, conflicting obligations or belonging. So in a simple example, if you see your parent and they're struggling with a big pile of wood, you'll rush over to help with the pile of wood, right? It's the same with anything else they are carrying. There's a quote here by Bert Hellinger. He said, "In a family of thieves, the child who will not steal has a guilty conscience." It's all about that desire to belong. And we already do belong. We've got that family superconscious. So you don't need to carry your parents' shit. And as a parent myself, I wouldn't want my son to. If you use the experience of guilt or innocence as your moral compass, you will live a life that confirms all of the beliefs of the family system that you were born into. Lead your own life is the message here. So issues which people struggle with in life are sometimes, often, not their own. Rather, they result from an attempt on the part of the child acting out of love to resolve the family issue. This is done unconsciously or subconsciously, and the result is that the child becomes entangled, begins to live out the fate of the other past family members. Resolution requires that responsibility be given back to that person, living or dead, to whom it belongs. There's another quote here. "My experience is that the source of suffering is in the ways we suffer for other people in an unworkable attempt to say I love you." That trying to carry the wood. When we create or insist on having suffering contracts, that's what these are, we accept obligations of love. A contract becomes one of suffering contracts of love. Dad, I will feel the heavy burdens so yours will be lighter. Mum, I will be your victim so you won't have the pain of being others' perpetrator. Dad, I'll be a perpetrator so you will be less guilty. Mum, I will be a better victim than you so that the perpetrators will choose me instead of you. Dad, I will be a victim like you so that it will seem like you had no other choice. These are subconscious, right? This is the mechanism by which abuse, addiction, and other suffering obligations of love get passed down through generations. The strength of the pattern of undesirable behavior is in direct proportion to the strength of love between children and their parents. Now, the message here, and hopefully you're starting to understand your relationship with your parents a bit better now. The message here is to honor your parents and honor your ancestors by letting go of their struggle. They wouldn't want you to carry it. And you're disempowering them by trying to help them. You can't belong more or less to your family. You don't have to prove anything. You're connected by DNA. You're connected in the family superconscious field. So there's no way to not belong when you're energetically connected. Have a good day.